Now on 4 News Now at 6, tragedy over the Potomac. 67 people now dead following an American Airlines flight colliding with a military helicopter. We'll have the latest on the investigation.
And tomorrow is a weather alert day. We're tracking snow for the first time in many weeks.
We have team coverage. We'll show you how much you can expect in your neighborhood in the first alert forecast.
And Spokane's police chief reveals his new 2-year plan to clean up the city. We'll show you how he plans to curb gun violence and drug use coming up. You're watching 4 News Now at 6. Well, the Earth Cam in Washington, D.C. captures the moment an American Airlines flight collides with an Army helicopter, sending flaming debris into the Potomac River below. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Derek Dice. 64 people were on board the American Airlines flight, and 3 soldiers were on that helicopter. Here are some photos of some of the victims, including 3 famous Russian figure skaters. Investigators say they're still in the process of contacting the victims' families. Many questions still remain, including what caused this tragedy over the Potomac. CNN's Brian Abel has the latest on the investigation and how federal officials are responding.
American Airlines says Flight 5342 from Wichita, operated by PSA, was on approach to land at Reagan National Airport when it and an Army Black Hawk helicopter from the 12th Aviation Battalion, similar to this one, collided in flight.
It was a fairly experienced crew, and that was doing a required annual night evaluation. They did have night vision goggles.
There was not a breakdown in communication between the military helicopter and American airline flight. There was communication between the aircraft and the tower.
Among the PSA jet's passengers, several athletes, coaches, and family members returning from a development camp with U.S. figure skating. In a statement, the governing body said it is devastated by this unspeakable tragedy. At the White House, President Donald Trump addressing the tragedy.
As one nation, we grieve for every precious soul that has been taken.
But he also pointed fingers.
I put safety first. Obama, Biden, and the Democrats put policy first. The FAA's diversity and inclusion hiring plan, which says diversity is integral to achieving FAA's mission of ensuring safe and efficient travel. I don't think so.
When asked for evidence why DEI could be a factor.
Because I have common sense, okay?
This morning, the president appointed a former senior aviation official as the FAA's acting administrator. That role, among others at the agency, were left empty following resignations ahead of Trump taking office. In Washington, Brian Abel reporting.
All right, here's a live look over downtown Spokane. The skies are dry for now, but for the first time in a long time, our team of weather experts is tracking snow. That's why they've declared tomorrow a weather alert day. We have team coverage tonight. We begin with Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker to see when it's expected to arrive.
It will be waiting for you tomorrow morning, no matter how early your morning commute gets underway, and that is why we have declared tomorrow a weather alert day. It's been a while since we've had to use those winter driving skills, and it will be for Friday morning. Snow across the region. It's going to continue in some areas, turn to rain in others. Forecast radar starting off at our current time. We'll start to see that wet weather crossing around midnight, working its way across the region. By 5 a.m., we'll have snow underway in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. More of a rain-snow mix or rain south of I-90. That snow will continue through the morning commute and beyond. In some locations, we'll see that rain working up into Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. That is why our winter weather advisory expires at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, goes into effect at 4 a.m. However, there are winter storm warnings and advisories over the rest of the region that go right on through Saturday afternoon for that continued snow. And that's part of the reason we see a big difference in our odds of accumulating snow. At least 2 inches of snow through Sunday. It's 0 in Moses Lake, only 27% in Spokane, and about that in Pullman, but then it jumps at Coeur d'Alene to 79% and close to 100% for Newport, Deer Park, and Sandpoint. And that's where meteorologist Matt Gray picks up our team coverage to explain the difference between those locations, Matt.
And it is quite a disparity, what we are going to end up seeing. Here's the situation. The further north you go, you've got more mountainous terrain. You've got temperatures that have stayed consistent consistently cooler as we've warmed up further south in the Columbia Basin over the last few days in the sunshine. And as we head through the day, we're going to see that warmer air moving in from the south. In places like Spokane, where there is nothing but a few fence posts and a blade of grass to kind of block that warmer air from mixing in, we are going to see the warm up somewhat quickly as that works to the north. However, surrounded by mountains, those further northern valleys, with that cold air trapped down in the valley bottoms, it's going to take a lot longer, especially with clouds and snow helping to keep things on the cooler side from warming up as much throughout the day. And so it's going to take a lot longer for snow to potentially flip over to rain or a rain-snow mix in those northern valleys. Here's the areas where we expect the most consistent snowfall. Here's what we expect for the morning. As you can see, pretty much everybody getting some snowfall here in this area, and that means we are going to all be experiencing winter driving conditions to start the day. Things change, though, as we head towards the middle part of the day, 10 a.m. through 4 p.m., so most of your afternoon. Notice how, because of the warmer air moving in, the snow potential around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, places like Cheney, goes down quite a bit. But further north, we're still accumulating some snow as those temperatures stay a little bit colder along Highway 2 and on Highway 20 as well, and 395 on the Washington side. Then we have the possibility of kind of one of two scenarios playing out. If we remain cooler when another round of moisture comes in late in the day, well, that means we could see a significant amount of snow piling up and really slowing us down for the end of the day around places like Sandpoint, Spirit Lake, Newport, and then across Pend Oreille County as well and around Priest Lake. However, we start to see that warm air push in a little bit faster. Well, obviously, it'll be a much nicer evening in those areas. We'll see how things play out. Chris is back with your full forecast in a few minutes.
All right, Matt, thank you. Washington State Patrol says their plows are ready to clear the streets once the snow starts to fall. When you wake up, be sure to tune in to Good Morning Northwest. Starting at 5 o'clock, we'll bring you the latest on the weather and road conditions, plus any school closures or delays you may need to know about. Well, after going on the run, the man accused of shooting and killing a Peppersack Middle School 8th grader over the weekend will soon be returning to Spokane. Madeline Mullins has the latest on the efforts of law enforcement to ensure that justice is served here.
A man accused of shooting and killing a 13-year-old boy in Hilliard last weekend made his first appearance in a Montana court this morning. Glenn Berkey, who goes by his middle name Dylan, appeared in Missoula County Court after being caught by police there yesterday. He was wanted for firing through a door to a house, with one of the bullets hitting Gavin Looper early Saturday morning. Looper died shortly after being struck by that bullet. Berkey told Missoula County judge today that he wanted to waive his right to extradition back to Spokane, giving police here the green light to pick him up as soon as possible. He's charged with murder and assault in the 2nd degree, as well as drive-by shooting. We asked Spokane police this afternoon if they could provide a timeline for how soon extradition can be arranged, and we are waiting for a response. They told us they're working on the logistics and would update us when they knew more. In studio, I'm Madeline Mullins, 4 News Now.
Well, after Berkey's arrest, Spokane police held a press conference where Police Chief Kevin Hall laid out the department's plan to not only lower gun violence, but crime in general across the city. Our Hunter Bertram is live in downtown Spokane and breaks down the department's new approach to keep you and your family safe.
Yeah, Derek, Chief Hall shared this 37-page plan to improve safety. He says that by using data and building community ties, police can make Spokane a safer place.
The community should be outraged. Our children are dying at the hands of gun violence. We have to do something, and we need to do something in conjunction and partnership with our community.
In the wake of the murder of 13-year-old Gavin Looper, who died from gun violence, Spokane Police Chief Kevin Hall says his department is determined to make a change.
Prior to this tragedy, SPD created its 2025-2026 strategic plan.
The plan has many strategies addressing big problems for the city.
This was written months ago. The #1 priority in our strategic plan is reducing gun violence.
SPD wants to also lower drug use and make officers more accessible.
We know and recognize that law enforcement cannot solve this or any other social problem on our own. We have to co-produce safety with the community. We have to walk hand in hand with our community.
SPD says every year officers are responding to more calls than the previous year. While the calls go up, the number of officers remain the same. That means finding better ways to keep you safe.
How do we prioritize limited resources?
So what is the chief proposing? It comes down to targeting how they patrol Spokane, using data to place officers in high crime areas before and after incidents happen. Also finding ways to build relationships and trust between officers and the community. The chief's plans says that when police have the community's trust, they are more willing to help officers keep Spokane safe. And this strategic plan has much more to it that we'll continue to report for you, exploring how it'll impact your family's safety. But for now, outside the downtown police precinct, I'm Hunter Bertram, 4 News Now.
All right, Hunter, thank you. Still ahead, lawmakers at Olympia are trying to find ways to solve the ongoing child care crisis, how changing licensing requirements is meant to help make it more accessible.
When my kids started getting Crohn's and MS, it just broke me. It was really hard.
The Northport community slowly poisoned by a smelter in British Columbia. After the break, we'll tell you about the remarkably high number of health issues lingering in families today and the glimmer of hope to restore safety for future generations. It's all in my special report coming up right after the break.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
More Americans choose ABC News, America's #1 news source.
It's the new year, and we're ringing in the savings, like up to $15,520 off or 0% APR on a new Sierra 1500 Denali. And ask us about our 3-day return and 7-day exchange. We're family owned and operated at GMC of Riverfront Park.
I'm Chad Young from theeasyhomebuyer.com, Spokane and Coeur d'Alene's easiest way to sell your house fast. If you have a few moments, I hope you'll give me the opportunity to make you an instant cash offer on your home. With theeasyhomebuyer.com, we will buy your house in as-is condition with no repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. To get your no-obligation cash offer, give us a call or visit us online at theeasyhomebuyer.com.
Pick up the phone to inquire. Call the Easy Home Buyer.
General Mustard's Chicken. Ask for it by name. Exclusively at Mustard Seed, Northtown Mall.
Ready to enjoy some February fun? The Kootenai Casino has a getaway just for you. Book your room now and cozy out for just $59 per night midweek and $89 on the weekend. And enjoy 2 free breakfast vouchers. Win big during our Mardi Gras Masquerade giveaway. And celebrate Valentine's Day and President's Day with extra bonus play. Stay and win at the Inn. Call 888-YOU-ARE-LUCKY or visit KootenaiRiverInn.com.
Winter can take a toll on your heating system, but regular maintenance keeps it running smoothly and saves you money on utilities. At Bill's Heating and AC, we're proud to offer comprehensive maintenance for just $59. And with 24/7 service, you can rest easy knowing we're always here when you need us without breaking the bank. So don't wait for a costly breakdown. Protect your home this season by calling Bill's Heating and AC and schedule your $59 maintenance today.
It's the new year, and we're ringing in the savings, like up to $9,000 off or 3.9% APR on a new Sierra 2500 HD Denali. And ask us about our 3-day return and 7-day exchange. We're family owned and operated at GMC of Riverfront Park.
I think it's taken a lot of effort. There's been a lot of people involved. Some are still working here. Some have retired. Some have even passed away. So this has been a long fight for those involved.
The people of Northport and the Upper Columbia River slowly poisoned over time by a smelter in British Columbia. But after decades of fighting for their health and the health of their land, there's finally some hope. In December, the Environmental Protection Agency added the Upper Columbia River to its Superfund national priorities list. So I went to Northport to learn how this decision will help clean up the river and make this area safer for future generations. The town of Northport is nestled on the banks of the Upper Columbia River, just a few miles south of the Canadian border. It's a beautiful area, and for many of the people who live here, it's been home for generations.
My great-grandparents and grandparents and parents, and now my brother and I live here. And so, yeah, I mean, there's a legacy here with our family. And
the same is true for the people of the Colville Confederated Tribes.
The tribes have lived on this river. They've conducted ceremonies on this river. They fished the river. Basically, the river has been our lifeline.
But for decades, the people here have been suffering from abnormally high rates of a host of different health issues.
I have MS, and I have Crohn's disease. I have nieces and nephews and brothers and sisters who have MS and Crohn's disease.
According to community health surveys in Northport, 4% of residents have been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, more than 1,300 times the national average. 6% have ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease. That's 1,000 times above average. And in 2011, 22% of Northport residents said they suffered from some type of cancer. Matt Wolahan, the former chairman of Citizens for Clean Columbia, has ocular melanoma in his right eye.
And come to find out, there's like 3 other people that do. It's very rare. And 1 in 2 million people.
Rose Calamaridas has ulcerative colitis, and like Julie Sowards, she also had her colon removed.
what makes, I think, our situation unique is there's a cluster here.
These same health issues started showing up in some of their children.
When my kids started getting Crohn's and MS, it just broke me. It was really hard.
But where do all these issues come from? While there's no way to prove it, the people here all point 7 miles up the river to this smelter just across the Canadian border.
From 1906 to 1996, the Teck smelter here in Trail, BC, dumped 450 tons of slag a day into the Columbia River. Slag is a solid discharge made up of heavy metal toxins, and it all carried downstream across the border to Northport.
The EPA believes at least 13 million tons of slag went into the river, and Teck released even more pollutants into the air. That's lead, zinc, cadmium, and selenium in the water system and in the soils. And a lot of it washed ashore near Northport in places now known as Black Sand Beach or Dead Man's Eddy.
And sometimes it just looks like it's wet or things like that, but is what people don't know is that slag, it's almost like little granules of sand.
Is that why it's kind of blackish?
It's dark, yes.
Yeah. The Colville tribes first petitioned the EPA to list the Upper Columbia River on its Superfund National Priorities List in 1998. And more than a quarter century later, it finally happened on December 13th.
By adding a site to the National Priorities List, we guarantee that EPA will be involved with this project through the end of the cleanup.
And it's not just the river. It's on at least 200 residential properties where there's a risk to human health.
We do know that there's unacceptable risk on these properties that are likely going to entail some type of cleanup. So the listing, where we're at in the process, recognizes that and provides us access to those resources.
The EPA's main goal is to protect people, especially young children, from lead contamination in the soil near their homes.
So we're taking the contamination out. We could hope that that'll also have other benefits for other people and other diseases.
The EPA has already cleaned up a number of public beaches and says all but Bossburg Beach are now safe for recreation.
And therefore, we don't want to deter people from using these amenities that are in their backyards.
The EPA also says aerial emissions are the cause for the lead contamination. That's why the people here are pushing for more air quality monitors as part of the Superfund designation.
I think to understand how it impacts the area, because I've got a grandkid that's going to be born in March, and I'd really like them to come home and breathe clean air.
You look at people recreating and they're going, this isn't the type of Superfund site I'm used to.
For so many who live here, they say the damage is already done. For the Colville tribes, the Superfund designation is better late than never.
The tribes will continue to live on this river at least 7 generations out. So it's very important that this cleanup is done right, that it's done according to the EPA laws. laws.
And for the people of Northport, many who fought for this while suffering for so long, their thoughts are also on the future, preserving the place they call home and protecting the people they love.
I want it to happen for my kids. I want it to happen for my kids' kids. The people who live here are special people.
If we can leave a cleaner place for the people, the next generation and the generations after, then I wouldn't mind that legacy.
Now, the EPA has cleaned up 66 residential properties so far and is actively trying to get people to sign up to get their yard sampled. Tech has cleaned up 18 more properties and issued this statement to 4 News Now, saying Tech has spent more than $190 million conducting an extensive remedial investigation and feasibility study of the Upper Columbia watershed under EPA direction over the last 18 years. It goes on to say, since the 1970s, Tech has invested over $1.7 billion to continuously advance the environmental and operational performance of the smelter. We'll be right back.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Mainstream Electric Heating, Cooling, Plumbing.
How's football and a Super Bowl team helping kids learn?
How did we get to learning about the thousands place value? By Saquon Barkley. By his rushing yards.
Tomorrow, the Philly teacher and her students soaring just like the on Good Morning America.
Canopy Village is working to combat homelessness in North Idaho by providing safe, temporary housing and services to those in need. Their goal is to help families transition from crisis to stability.
We believe everyone deserves a place to call home. Canopy Village is here to not only provide shelter, but also to offer hope and guidance towards a path of a brighter future.
Numerica Credit Union is honored to donate $1,000 to Canopy Village. This is how Numerica cares for kids.
Discover the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester at Parker Subaru.
Built with quality engineering, advanced safety, and off-road capabilities, the Forester remains one of Motor Trend's top-ranked compact SUVs. Drive with confidence in any weather with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive.
Make parking a breeze with the 360-degree surround view monitor. The 2025 Subaru Forester, ready for any adventure.
See the all-new Subaru Forester at Parker Subaru in beautiful Coeur d'Alene.
From the fields of the Pacific Northwest to the tables of the world, agriculture is at the heart of it all. This February, come in from the cold and join us at the Spokane Ag Show, where we meet together, learn about the industry, and grow. With over 200 exhibitors, expert-led seminars, guest host Rob Sharkey, and live music, it's a show you can't miss. Join us February 4th through the 6th at the Spokane Convention Center. Visit agshow.org for all the details.
Your home is more than a place, it's a feeling, a reflection of who you are. And at the Tin Roof, we believe furniture should do more than fill a room. It should inspire it. From timeless dining tables to sofas you can sink into and decor that tells your story, every piece is thoughtfully curated to make your space feel effortlessly you. Because it's not just furniture, it's where memories are made, where comfort lives, and where life happens. It's more than furniture, it's a feeling.
4 things to know about your weather. It is a weather alert day Friday for a snowy morning commute throughout the region. Snow turning to rain in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, but the mountain snow will continue right on through the weekend with some impressive totals. Our 12-hour precipitation right after midnight, our odds go up a little bit, but it isn't until 5 a.m. that we're at 90%, and it's going to stay at 90% for most of the day. Let's pick up where that left off. 9 a.m., 90% chance of snow. By around 10, 11 o'clock, we'll start to see some rain trying to mix in, but still a mix of rain and snow through noon and even beyond. We're not into, well, our odds of precipitation increase as up to 100%, and then we start to see just rain by 4 o'clock. Winds are going to start picking up as well. 38 degrees at 4 o'clock. We're going to stay in the mid-30s through 8 o'clock with a 100% chance of precipitation in the form of rain, and our winds picking up as well. So it is going to be a wet and windy Friday night around the Spokane area. As we take a look at our Friday snow forecast, as we've talked about, places where the cold air stays, we're going to see much higher snowfall totals. Bonners Ferry, Sandpoint, Coeur d'Alene. Let's zoom in on this area and take a closer look at some of the snowfall totals. This takes us up until midnight tomorrow night. 18 inches of snow at Mount Spokane, 8 in Coquilala, Sandpoint. These are the high ends, 4 to 8 in Priest River, 4 to 8 in Blanchard and Cusick, as well as Elk and Deer Park and Loon Lake. Those lower totals come along with some warmer air. If we stay cold, we have a very good shot of hitting some of those high-end totals. Plenty of moisture to work with this system, and that is why when we take the snow levels up to the passes, we are going to see some very impressive totals Friday and Saturday. In some places, the snow measured in feet, not just inches. Meanwhile, Friday's high temperatures will be in the 30s to right around 40 degrees in the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. A little bit cooler as we head out to the outlying areas, but we're up around 40 once we head south of I-90. Colder air is on the way. We have a cooling trend that takes us all the way into the 20s starting Monday. We stay in the 20s through Thursday with at least a slight chance of snow every day in the forecast from Saturday on. So we are far from through with it.
All right, Chris, thank you. Still ahead, tensions are rising in Spokane County over emergency communication funding. Why the mayor of Spokane is pushing for a new bill that would change the way 911 taxes are collected and its potential impact on you during an emergency. That's coming up.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
It's the President's Day Super Sale at Furniture Row. Right now, save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out special purchases while they last. Or score 60 months, no interest. The President's Day Super Sale on now at Furniture Row.
A performance that truly matters. This is what you've been waiting for. Shen Yun. Coming to Spokane, First Interstate Center for the Arts. Shenyun.com.
For the professional, it's not enough to possess knowledge. We seek to refine it, to wield its power, to redefine its boundaries. Knowledge is put to the test in every GMC Sierra. Get 0.9% APR on select Sierra 1500 models. That's over $4,200 in average finance savings. See your local GMC dealer.
I felt like there was just no answers to get out of the anxiety and the depression that I had.
I was suicidal all the time, thinking about it nonstop, every day, every moment.
Depression and anxiety rob millions of us of our day-to-day lives, but nothing seems to pull you out of it. Introducing NeuroStim TMS, Washington's leading provider of transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS therapy. At NeuroStim TMS, we treat the root of the problem with a series of short daily treatments. Using a non-invasive magnetic field, TMS activates the natural function of the brain's neurotransmitters to improve mood and regulate emotion. TMS is not shock therapy. It's an FDA-approved, easy outpatient experience and covered by all major medical insurances.
There's nothing better than just being able to enjoy life again.
The treatment just completely, fundamentally changed my life.
Visit neurostimtms.com today or call to schedule your free consultation at any of our 12 Washington state locations.
The Working Families Tax Credit isn't just for families. Individuals and couples can apply too. See if you or your family are eligible for this tax refund at workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov/eligibility.
It's the President's Day Super Sale at Furniture Row. Right now, save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out special purchases while they last. Or score 60 months, no interest. The President's Day Super Sale on now at Furniture Row.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Well, construction is underway on a brand new greenhouse at Bemis Elementary School. A teacher applied for a grant to bring this greenhouse to the school to try to educate kids on sustainability while giving them more hands-on learning opportunities. Even the crew putting this greenhouse together is excited for the kids.
I think it's great that they reached out and put the wheels in motion to start teaching kids like growing food and vegetables and plants to a little bit more self-sustainability when they grow up and just not have to rely on the grocery stores and this and that. And it's a
fun hobby as well.
The goal is to have this built by tomorrow. Kids will be able to use the greenhouse year-round. Green Acres Park in Spokane Valley is getting an upgrade. Construction will begin on this $2 million project in March. Once completed, the park will have 6 new pickleball courts, 2 basketball courts, an updated play structure, and a community garden. With the population of Spokane Valley continuing to grow, the city hopes this project will update an already popular park and provide facilities that everyone can use.
I like that they're making more activities for people to do, you know, and I'm assuming that they're free pickleball courts, which, you know, free activities for the public is, you know, I think what the government should be doing.
Construction on the project will start in March and go into July. The park will be closed during that time. All right, still ahead, a push to make childcare more affordable. Hear the latest plan from Olympia next on 4 News Now. And we'll hear from the WSU men's and women's basketball teams ahead of their games against Pacific tonight.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. I want some tasty food? We got you. Heard you want to do some shopping? We got you. The live music is always popping at the Coeur d'Alene Casino. Coeur d'Alene Casino. But winning is just the beginning.
For the greatest selection at the lowest prices, come to Cost Less Carpet.
As a general contractor, I bring my clients to Cost Less Carpet so they can see every option.
Everything I need is always in stock.
If it's trendy or new, I'm sure you'll find it here.
And their team of designers are so fun to work with.
It really is worth the experience.
I can find everything for my home or my client's home. No problem.
Shopping here is an awesome experience.
Cost Less Carpet, where inspiration and ideas happen.
In Spokane, access to quality health care is a growing need for many families. The Native Project provides sacred hospitality to the Spokane community, ensuring every patient feels cherished and respected.
The Native Project provides medical, dental, behavioral health, pharmacy, and wellness services for everyone. We serve Native and non-Native patients, focusing on balance of mind, body, and spirit.
Numerica Credit Union is honored to donate $1,000 to the Native Project. This is how Numerica cares for kids.
Fresh Firestone baked pizzas are now available at the Coeur d'Alene Casino. Welcome to Arrowhead Pizza. Specialty pizzas with top-notch ingredients and flavors that hit the jackpot. Located inside Coeur d'Alene Casino's food court. Visit cdacasino.com for details.
Winning is just the beginning.
Next ET, from In Living Color to Papa's House. Damon Wayans and Tommy Davidson drop by. Plus,
I'm Jenny McCarthy-Wahlberg.
And I'm Donnie Wahlberg, and we're spilling the E.T.
Next, watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30. Watch KXLY Plus over the air on KXLY ABC4. Live updates, breaking news, weather every 10 minutes from the 4 News Now team. Get up to date on the information you need in just an hour. Weekdays at 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. over the air on KXLY ABC4. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
All right, welcome back. Chris has been warning us about the snow heading our way, and you've been saying all along it's going to hit sometime Friday morning. Now we're counting down the hours.
Yes, it is going to be a tricky Friday morning commute, and for some of us, the snow continues throughout the day. Others, not so much. It is an interesting forecast, and it's a weather alert day for Friday. Let's talk about the timing on this precipitation. We're starting off at our current time, the forecast radar. The clouds moved in, last of our bright blue skies, a memory. Midnight tonight, we're starting to see some of that wet weather on this side of the Cascades, spreading into Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area around 4 or 5 a.m. in the form of snow. South of I-90, once we're down onto the Palouse and especially the Columbia Basin, likely starting off as more of a rain-snow mix. As we go through Friday morning, here's 9 a.m. That snow continues in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, and some of the spots where it may have started off as rain are now transferring over to snow. Here's a look at some of the snowfall forecasts through 10 a.m. Friday. 1 to 2 in Spokane, 1 to 2 in Coeur d'Alene, certainly enough to cause problems with the drive. Less than an inch down in Moscow and Pullman. And then as we zoom in on some of the areas where we're going to see some of the heavier snow, 2 to 4 in Spirit Lake, Newport, and Medellin Falls. But in many of these locations, the snow will continue through the day and beyond. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast and a closer look at some of the snowfall totals we'll see for the next few days in just a few minutes. Derek?
All right, Chris, thank you. The city of Spokane is supporting a bill that would change how 911 communications are funded. Law enforcement organizations around the county say the bill would create a funding gap outside of the city. Derek Strom spoke with Mayor Lisa Brown about what she believes is an unfair situation.
This House bill is about fairness, fiscal responsibility, and public safety.
The city of Spokane and law enforcement agencies around the county are clashing over House Bill 1258, which would change how emergency communications are funded. Right now, part of the funding comes from an excise tax, which is determined by population, but the new bill would change the tax so it would be generated by call volume. Mayor Lisa Brown says supporting this bill is partially due to Spokane Regional Emergency Communications no longer taking calls for the Spokane Fire Department.
That the status quo is not acceptable, and the status quo is, again, we're not taking your calls, but we're taking the revenue.
Other law enforcement organizations and fire districts across the county believe this bill would create a funding gap because the call volume from the city of Spokane is greater than its population, but Mayor Brown says the city isn't interested in working with SREC because she believes it's unfair to the city.
Our position was always, let's work towards a system that is regional and that we feel the city's interests are fairly represented. And if we can get there, that's where we want to go.
Mayor Brown doesn't believe that the partnership between SREC and the city of Spokane was the right long-term plan for the city. She's hoping this bill will help them create their own system that will work better for 911 communications. Mayor Brown says the city is already in the early stages of planning its own dispatch center and setting its priorities.
Response times, highly trained dispatchers. I also want us to think about the well-being of dispatchers because having sat with them, it's a very trauma-inducing job that they have.
In Spokane, Derek Strom, 4 News Now.
Well, lawmakers in Olympia are trying to find ways to fix the ongoing child care crisis by taking some financial stress off of providers. The hope is that this makes child care more accessible for you. But will that actually be the case? Alexander Conyard spoke with local providers to find out how much this legislation is expected to help.
Down the street, as I was skipping down the street.
The sight of smiles and sounds of singing are the norm at the Nest Community School, but offering this quality education and care doesn't come for free.
Nobody goes into the childcare business to make money. We're in here to serve our communities.
Chelsea Inman is the director of Nest Community School. As she puts it, childcare is a public good that is almost completely in the private sector.
It's small businesses that are paying payroll.
Senate Bill 5130 would eliminate licensing fees for providers. At the Nest, this annual fee costs around $480. For larger providers, those numbers can go into the thousands.
That could be the difference between making payroll and not making payroll.
And while eliminating this licensing fee does help, there is still a long way to go to make childcare in our community more affordable.
For us, it's better than nothing. But honestly, it's not gonna even be a blip on our radar as far as finances.
Heather Theodorson is the director of Happy Hearts, another childcare facility in Spokane. If this bill goes through, it would marginally benefit them by helping break even with the center's rise in insurance costs. While both Theodorson and Inman are happy to hear on these efforts to make childcare more accessible, they both believe more is needed.
These kids are the future. And if we are not creating a safe environment for these kids and we are not creating a healthy environment for these kids, mentally, physically, emotionally, then we're failing.
I know that there's a lot of other steps that need to happen, and they need to happen kind of soon for childcare to remain something that's feasible for families and for businesses.
Reporting from Spokane, Alexandra Conyards, 4 News Now.
Well, a lawsuit between 25 City of Spokane firefighters and former Mayor Nadine Woodward, former Fire Chief Brian Schaefer, and the City of Spokane is heading back to court. The case, which was originally dismissed in 2022, has now been appealed, and today those firefighters are celebrating this small victory. Madeline Mullins has the story.
Jer Fuller has only ever wanted to be one thing.
It's all I've ever wanted to do is be a fireman.
This is why, when he was fired in 2021 for not getting a COVID-19 vaccine, despite being granted a religious exemption, he was shocked.
It's just like a huge sense of betrayal. Just to have the whole kind of rug of your life pulled out from underneath you all of a sudden.
In 2021, 25 City of Spokane firefighters were let go for the same reason as Jer. The city saying they were unable to provide accommodations for the unvaccinated. Fuller and the other plaintiffs argued that that was unfair because firefighters in the surrounding area were given accommodations and they responded to some of the same calls as the City of Spokane firefighters.
Spokane Valley Fire Department, Spokane Fire District 9, District 8, District 10. Everybody around us and all over the state were not only giving exemptions but accommodations that were very reasonable.
Now, after being appealed by the Ninth Circuit, the case is getting sent back here to district court.
Everybody's feeling a little sense of relief at the process moving forward because it's been such a long wait.
Fuller says since 2021, some firefighters have still not recovered financially or emotionally, and this news is a small win for them. In Spokane, I'm Madeline Mullins, 4 News Now.
All right, Washington State men's basketball fell in a heartbreaker in their first meeting with the Pacific Tigers, but tonight the Cougs get a chance at revenge.
Oh yeah, that's right. The last game ending in a wild buzzer beater. The Cougs looking to steady the ship, deliver a big-time win tonight. We're going to hear more from the team and their prep for their battle in Stockton right after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
My advice to all the fathers out there, they grow up way too fast for you to waste even a single precious moment.
This isn't our dog.
That one?
You never got new glasses, did you?
Well, you didn't know Stanton Optical makes eye care easy.
Exactly.
2 pairs of glasses and a free eye exam for $79. Stanton Optical. Easy's our thing.
These are real people seeking solutions to real pain.
I have plantar fasciitis.
My feet, my knees, hips, and back.
And then they were fit with Good Feet arch supports. Clinically proven. Significant pain relief in only 4 weeks.
I'm not feeling any pain. My heel, that's where I always feel it.
Pressure off your knees?
Yeah, actually. I didn't notice any pain in my back. I feel like I could walk all day in these.
Take back the life you love and book your personalized arch support fitting today.
The sound, excitement, and fun of the Rod Stewart Hybrid Tribute live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, February 20th. Don Felder, formerly of the Eagles, one of the most innovative riff-generating songwriters of the modern rock era, will be live Thursday, March 6th. Ready for action? It's no holds barred as King of the Cage features up-and-coming MMA stars battling it out live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, April 10th. Visit the Coeur d'Alene Casino box office or cdacasino.com for tickets.
Winning is just the beginning.
All right, it's gonna be another good day. Hey, it's cold out, you guys. Families are freezing. They deserve better than that. Let's show them how business should be done. All right, guys, have a great day. Need anything, let me know. Okay, Fixed Rider is free, baby. You know Zach's going all the way this year, right?
Yeah, I do.
Big day. No heat calls, right? We haven't been voted #1 for nothing, you guys. We've worked really hard to earn these customers' trust, and let's show them that we are the best company in town, okay?
4 News Now and ABC World News Tonight.
Delivering reliable information in uncertain times.
Knowing where to turn for news is crucial. Turn to ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
And 4 News Now with Derek Dice and Kirsten O'Connor.
At Stanton Optical, independent eye doctors are available for eye exams whenever you need one. You should have seen me before I got mine. You're so quiet. Are you mad at me? Book your free same-day eye exam at Stanton Optical today.
Washington State men's basketball did not fare ideally against the basement-dwelling Pacific Tigers in their last meeting. That buzzer beater in overtime shocked the Cougs in Beasley Coliseum, giving the Tigers still their only WCC win in 9 attempts. WSU is 2-3 since that game, falling at Gonzaga before beating San Diego and Portland, then dropping both the Santa Clara and right now you're seeing St. Mary's game. So Pacific is only the second team the Cougs have faced twice now after this evening, joining a sweep against the Portland Pilots. So now with those losses behind them, the Cougs, they need to win nearly all, if not all, of their 9 remaining regular season games to feel pretty safe to get that tournament spot. And head coach David Riley spoke with the media this week on his focus on the close of the season.
I think that there's so many tough things that you got to do to win games during a season. The sooner you figure out that you just got to focus on the next one, the better. And I probably do a bad job of this early in the season of talking about the NCAA tournament too much. And we just got to go 1-0.
The Cougs' quest for revenge in Stockton is tonight at 7 p.m., so we'll have highlights coming up on Nightside. For the women's side, they're down in Pullman. They remain at Beasley Coliseum tonight for their game against Pacific. Their trip to Stockton, well, went pretty well this season already with a 74-66 win. WSU played amazing defense in that game, locking down Pacific shooting, and this continued on in their win you're seeing now over Oregon State, which is their last time on the hardwood. Head coach Kemi Etheridge spoke to the media about how this will carry over into their game tonight.
Going back and watching our game, you just see how different we are and how much I think we're better. And I think looking at them and how different they play and how much different, they are a little bit. So everybody's at a different level. You can kind of go back and look at things, but gosh, it's such two drastically, different teams. So
Cougs are well underway in their game now. The score is 36-33, Cougs leading at halftime. We'll have highlights as well on Nightside. For the Gonzaga women, they're also underway right now at home. They host the San Diego Toreros, and just like the Cougs, they can earn a sweep with a win. Zags are on a very impressive 6-game win streak after an overtime loss to Oregon State, and they bumped up their overall record to 13-8. Their conference record, a very impressive 8-2, the best in the conference by a full game. The score last checked, 37-24 with 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Of course, highlights from the Kennel on Nightside. We also have some Big Sky games to cover tonight with both Eastern Washington and Idaho. Eagles traveling south to the Idaho State Bengals. Vandals even more south to the Weber State Wildcats. Eastern already tipping off at 6. They trail 25-21 with 2 minutes to go in the first half. Idaho also have an earlier tip-off, 25-all to the Wildcats. Very exciting there. We'll have finals of these games coming up on Nightside. Back to you, Derek.
All right, Jack, thank you. The pollutants contaminating the Spokane River have been an ongoing issue for years. But when students from a local elementary school learned about the problem, they wanted to try to make a difference. Marissa Rio tells us about the discussion these local 5th graders had with Washington lawmakers this past week.
Students at Regal Elementary have been working on this project for months. The students drafted this letter here to our legislators in Olympia. Their goal is to raise awareness around the contamination of the Spokane River, specifically in this area here at Boulder Beach, because they say this is where many families swim.
It's poisoning families, but not just families. It's also poisoning the plants and the animals.
An important issue to not only adults, but to kids as well. What is your goal with doing this project?
To get all the PCBs and toxic heavy metals and lead out of the water.
These 5th grade students traveled to Olympia this week and discussed these issues with our lawmakers. They advocated for change and for funding. This was all part of the Environmental and Sustainability Literacy Student Summit organized by the Pacific Education Institute.
We want to get all that out using either reverse osmosis, which is a filter that uses pressure, and there's also phytoremediation. Phytoremediation is when you use plants as a filter.
The students did receive some help along the way.
Then we worked with finding community partners in the community that are already working on this. And so we found 3 other community partners, the Spokane River Forum, the Department of Ecology, and the Spokane River Keepers.
Here students are with Representative Jenny Graham, who the class said took extra interest in their project.
I hope what the kids get out of this is the understanding that they can go in their community, find any problem, research, find solutions, work with their community partners, and they can actually make change.
In Spokane, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
ski report is not going to be at 0 for long. And what's nice is it's been great skiing. The groomers have been great. They haven't lost hardly anything at the base, but we're going to really bring the powder days in the forecast. Oh my goodness, skiers, it's going to be a good weekend. I'll be back with your forecast.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Surf and turf. Surf and turf. Low and slow and roasty beef. 2 of those things for $6.99. Arby's, we have the meat.
7 years ago is a pretty great way to start a speech. But if it's also the same age as your furniture, it might be time for a home refresh during the President's Day Super Sale at Furniture Row. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend and check out special purchases while they last. Or score 60 months no interest. Shop the largest selection at the lowest prices guaranteed. The President's Day Super Sale on now at Furniture Row.
I felt like there was just no answers to get out of the anxiety and the depression that I had.
I was suicidal all the time, thinking about it nonstop, every day, every moment.
Depression and anxiety rob millions of us of our day-to-day lives, but nothing seems to pull you out of it. Introducing NeuroStim TMS, Washington's leading provider of transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS therapy. At NeuroStim TMS, we treat the root of the problem with a series of short daily treatments. Using a non-invasive magnetic field, TMS activates the natural function of the brain's neurotransmitters to improve mood and regulate emotion. TMS is not shock therapy. It's an FDA-approved, easy outpatient experience and covered by all major medical insurances.
There's nothing better than just being able to enjoy life again.
The treatment just completely, fundamentally changed my life.
Visit neurostimtms.com today or call to schedule your free consultation at any of our 12 Washington state locations.
It's the region's largest boat show. 10 days of boats, unbeatable deals, and nonstop fun. Explore the region's largest showroom. Unbeatable pricing. Discover better boats, the largest selection of inventory, and the biggest savings, all under one roof. See the latest models from top brands like Cobalt, Malibu, Axis, Regal, Barletta, Cruisers Yachts, Harris, and Chris Craft. Plus an incredible selection of pre-owned boats. The Coeur d'Alene Boat Expo, January 30th through February 8th. A 10-day event you don't want to miss.
Surf and turf. 2 sandwiches. The sea giveth crispy fish. For $6.99. Arby's, we have the meat.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
Well, one lucky football fan can stuff his or her wallet by stuffing his or her face. The website Finance Buzz is offering $1,000 to a snack food taste tester for the upcoming Super Bowl. The winner will go to Costco and try out all the usual favorites like buffalo chicken dip, jalapeno poppers, and pigs in a blanket and determine how good they are. And you're telling me they're actually going to pay you for that? $1,000 to go pig out?
How do we get that?
I don't know.
Do you have to, how do you qualify?
We're going to have to find out.
Do you have to like football?
Maybe?
It is in advance of the game, right? Okay. We got some snow coming. Yes, let's talk about it. 4 things to know about your weather. Interesting forecast. We've got a weather alert day for Friday for a snowy morning commute just about everywhere, especially the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area north. Snow turns to rain in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene late in the day, and then the heavy mountain snow just continues. Now, tomorrow, actually, about the next 36 hours, and then we won't have to worry about who's getting rain and who's getting snow. Our snow levels will be dropping down to the lowest valley floors after tomorrow. Here's our high temperature trend over the next 7 days. White line is our average high. We're going to be up 38 in Spokane tomorrow, and then dropping, and then really dropping with high temperatures only in the 20s next week. And our overnight lows right now, the coldest readings of the season so far. Hour by hour tomorrow, though, it is going to be tricky. We're going to start off with snow across the region. 30 degrees our morning low at 6 a.m., 90% chance of precipitation. So that snow is going to continue at least through 9 a.m. As early as 10 a.m., we may start to see a rain-snow mix that will continue through at least noon. 36 degrees by 1 o'clock, and then look at our precipitation chances up to 100. We're going to start to see more rain, less snow. Finally, it's just going to be rain starting tomorrow late afternoon and continuing until late into the evening. Our winds are also going to begin picking up a little bit, so that may melt a lot of the snow that you get in the morning. Some of us may have nothing to show for the snow. That is not going to be the case in the mountains. However, heavy snow expected through Saturday, passes both east and west, so it's going to be a tricky next couple of days if you are planning to travel over the passes. Here's a look at our Friday snowfall forecast right now, and again, some of these locations may get this much snow and then get taken down to the studs as we warm up. But we have additional chances for snow coming, and it is not going to be the case in those northern valleys where the snow is going to continue throughout the day without any melting. You may get a little bit of a rain-snow mix in some of these places, but not like we're going to see further south. 18 inches at Mount Spokane. That's just Friday, and there's more snow coming. Saturday, a 50% chance of snow with less accumulation. And then we have at least a chance of light snow showers every single day through the 7-day forecast, Eric.
All right, Chris, thank you. Before we go to break, here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup for tonight.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. I want some tasty food? We got you. Heard you want to do some shopping? We got you. The live music is always popping at the Coeur d'Alene Casino. Coeur d'Alene Casino. Winning is just the beginning.
It can't be real.
It's real.
Got a call. Your house is on fire.
They literally don't have a home.
We need to give them their magic back.
Are you ready to move that bus?
New Extreme Makeover Home Edition, tonight on ABC.
Let's take a flight to Flight 509 Family Fun Center in the Spokane Valley. Get lost in 22,000 square feet of adventure for the whole family. Climbing, spinning, battling, striking, leaping, launching, exploring, invading, celebrating, and so much more. No, doggy. At Flight 509, fun really does take flight.
I've been in the sporting goods business all my life, and what my customers tell me is they want American, made in the U.S. They want tough, rugged, and durable. They want freedom, and freedom to go where they want and to get back safely. America's low boats, powered by Mercury Outboards, along with Elephant Boys Boating Store, can give you that freedom. At Elephant Boys Boating Store with Mercury Outboards, we have what you want.
I've been dealing with my weight issues for all my life. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to stay home and just be a couch potato. I wanted to have a fresh start. Spokane Wellness Group has helped me stay on track. When I started losing the weight, then I felt more comfortable. I feel wonderful right now because I've lost 65 pounds. It doesn't take me 10 minutes to walk across the parking garage anymore. I would encourage anybody to go to the Spokane Wellness Group. They stay with you every step of the way.
Tee off in style at Circling Ravens' top-tier golf suites. Play more than 80 famous golf courses around the world. It's a hole-in-one for all skill levels. Visit cdacasino.com for details.
Winning is just the beginning.
Isabella Strahan.
It's been rough, it's been challenging, and it's been very hard, but I know I'll get through it.
Life Interrupted.
The first thing that went through my mind was, this must be a mistake.
You don't really think the worst until you get told the worst. I'm not.
Love and that support really helped her pull through. I'm very proud of her.
The Powerful Special, next Wednesday night on ABC.
Weather alert day for Friday. Expect a tricky morning commute in many locations. That's going to turn into a slushy, messy pickup from school and drive home from work. But then it's just plain old snow as we get into the weekend and beyond.
It's crazy to look at that 7-day when we haven't seen much precipitation at all lately, and now it's every day for the next week. All right. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you at 11.